So corona means a part of the body resembling and or likened to a crown. You can look this up on Google. So that means it's going by the brain. Um, Corona, crown. If we're gonna go by chakras, the crown is at the very top of the head above the third eye. And so when the crown is messed up and or the brain, we're not thinking too logically. This is basically a sickness of the brain, corona, crown, virus. So the issues occurring around the world is 90% dis-ease from the brain and not thinking too clearly. 10% is, just natural causes. Like, for example, when we have allergy season from the high counts of pollen that the flowers are letting off, the trees and everything are letting off, those natural occurrences. Also, if you eat improperly, you're not eating foods based off of your body type or your blood type. You tend to have a little bit more issues with that. For the individuals that have an intolerance to certain colored foods like food dyes, milk, certain fruits, certain meats, etc., etc. Those can affect your health, um, along with some people being in environments that could be very stressful, whether that's at work or, just having a hard day at home, tending to your family, and not organizing time accordingly so that you can have that downtime. That's considered the 10% that is affecting majority of the people, which should not be taken out of context to cause even more stress, because those are natural occurrences before we were introduced to the corona or crown disease virus. So therefore, if we just recenter our brain and, you know, cater to our brain a lot better, recognize what foods, what certain environments could affect the brain, the wellness of the brain, we can get back in order so that we can have less crown virus cases, because everybody is putting their brain first. Everybody is putting the wellness of their brain first. Um, Thus lowering all of these new variants and or obliterating all of these new variants from even existing anymore. Again, corona means crown, the crown on the top of your head, your very head. Crown virus. This is a head virus, um, kind of similar to a head cold. When you're kind of stuffed up, like when we have sinus conditions, you tend to get pressure, like right in the center of your head. Well, sometimes your brain itself can get a cold, like a head cold, and you have to release that pressure. Um, just a little bit of, things that could help with relieving pressure within the head is steaming, along with blowing your nose accordingly, as well as coronavirus being said to attack the respiratory area. So that means clearing out your lungs on a regular basis, especially when you're brushing your teeth. Um, Blowing your nose, blowing the snot out, spitting out anything that coughs up and not swallowing it back in, because that causes even more inflammation, and that sticky mucus just collects more mucus when you swallow it back in, and you end up having like a choking, coughing fit. So you don't want that to occur. Every time you feel something cough up, spit it out. If you need to have a spit cup, spit it out so that you're not spitting out the windows if you're driving and getting it on your car or the next individual. Blowing your nose regularly, having, tiny trash bags or throwing it away in the trash somewhere you can dispose of it so that, it's not getting all over the place. Going back to the steaming with peppermint oil, eucalyptus oil, tea tree oil. These are very good and effective oils that you can utilize to get that congestion out of your system. Um, Knowing what foods cause a mucus reaction. For me, it would be chocolate or, unhealthy foods that will give me a mucousy reaction, or certain additives in certain foods will give me a mucousy reaction. So watch out for what foods trigger you to get a big collection of mucus to build up in your system, so that you can avoid them as much as possible, or minimize how much you eat of certain foods. When you're running and you feel like you need to um, spit, don't swallow it. It has to come out. Anything that the body pushes out of us, for example, how we have to urine, how we have to defecate, sweat, some vomit. Um, your body is pushing things out. That's what it's supposed to. That's a natural occurrence. That's a natural process that it does to uh, get rid of things that it does not need. It doesn't serve anything for any parts of our body, so it tries to get it out. So again, when you feel you're getting a big old glob of spit coming up from your throat, spit it out. Your body's saying, we don't need this. It's giving us an issue in our lungs. For the nose, you feel your nose is running. Don't sniff it back up. Blow your nose out. Hot soups with a good amount of peppers, not too much, just enough, because certain people have a sensitivity tolerance to certain spices. So just hot soup by itself, without the spices for some, will be able to help you to get that whole caked up mucus in your nose going, so that it can run out of your system. But again, overall, the purpose of this video today is to rebalance the brain, pretty much, because this whole issue with people having panic attacks and high amounts of fear and whatnot, it's due to the brain. It's a kind of like a manipulation of the brain in a way. This is 90% mental and 10% natural causes, like, again, allergy season from a high amount of pollen. I hope this helps somebody out there, or a lot of people out there, so that you all can get back on the right track and understand that, again, this is 90% mental and 10%, natural causes that we may have pushed on the wayside because of these different fancy names of a dis-ease towards the mental. Happy healing for all, and please do get better. If you feel yourself coming to a panic, or uh, acting frantic, just do a good quick breather. 5 minutes or so, as much time as you need for ones that are still working out there. If you have your break time before you eat your lunch or after you eat your lunch, do a quick breather, and understand that this crown virus is, most of it is just mental. Again, get better, and I will see you all soon.